Hi, welcome to another program. This week we want to talk about NATO and the future of NATO. Since Trump administration is in place and the country, they have started to think very differently from the previous US administration, which shows a unique break between the old strategy and the new strategy, or the existing world order, and they are very much eager to set up a new world order, which is going to most likely affect the NATO and NATO future. So from the perspective of United States, Russia is no longer a threat. What does it mean? The Ukrainian war shows the United States that Russian army is not at its peak like it was in 1980s. They lost power, mobility is not good, logistics is terrible, and the ability to fight with the new technological military equipment is very low, which indicates that their threat assessment against the EU is minimum. They believe that even EU can defend itself against Russian aggression in that regard easily. That's why they want to end up this Ukrainian war, make a favor to Russia, or keep Russia close to themselves when they are going to start contain the increasing influence of China in the Asia and global. They don't want Russia to help China when they are going to put sanctions or any other, let's say, economic sanctions against them. First of all, they don't want them to help. They don't want Russia to help China. That's why they are very much eager the war, even if it means they will Ukraine is going to lose some land. They don't care. They want to keep Russia in that regard beside them, so that their containment of China plan will be successful. From American perspective, they don't care the Europe and what Europe is thinking, because they do not believe that they can assess it correctly. When it comes to Europe, history is the most indicative reference. They do not forget the wars between Europe and Russia. They clearly do not trust the Russians, and that indicates that Europe has to do something else. Now, can they set up a European army? Of course they can. Is it going to be effective from day one? No, it's not. In order to have Europe, they have to have a number of soldiers ready at any time. They have to increase the expenses, military expenses. Most importantly, they have to also do their own military equipment, which mostly at this moment they are buying from the United States, especially their planes. So when you are thinking all these things, Europe is not in the good position, because the other problem that Europe has, United States can increase the military manpower by through immigration even, but in Europe it's not a choice. People, they don't want that, and especially when the right parties are in rising in Europe, especially when it comes to Austria, Germany, Netherlands, even in France. I do not believe totally that they are going to increase the manpower greatly. So the only option in order to close up the manpower deficiency is to have more advanced military equipment, which would enforce Europe to lean on developing more military equipment. And of course, then the European Union leader have made a declaration and statement that they want to spend in the next decade 850 billion euro for military equipment. So of course, that makes a sense when you think about this, because the other issue is, if you are going to recruit military personnel, it means that the labor force will be down, which means that they have to lean on the immigrations. So they can't. So the most important thing for them is, let's see what's going to happen with the military equipment. So they have to advance it. The other story is the future of NATO. Of course, the future of NATO is not going to be like, ending dramatically now, but the importance of NATO will be diminished, and Europe will try to replace NATO with European military. Now, Turkey, since I'm a Turk and it's all about Turkey, for me, at the end of the day, Turkey is doing something, I say, reasonable or not reasonable, but I think not ideal, is that they are thinking that they can bargain with the European Union on the level that they can supply the manpower, the military personnel, and military equipment. And for that, they can be granted for the European Union. First of all, this is not possible. Most likely, European Union will not choose that. Most likely, European Union will say, okay, European Union and European Army are two different issues, but they would like them to get involved with the maybe European Army to some level. It's beneficial to Europe. And as a Turk, it doesn't make also sense to me that you will be involved in the European Army, but you are not involved in the European Union. It's too stupid thing. But more importantly, both states, like European Union and Turkey, should understand one thing: their interests are now different, and we will see this differentiation more and more in depth in future. Now, why I'm saying this? Because it's easy. The most important thing is Turkey is now more leaning on the North Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, Balkans, even in the Persian Gulf, to Indian and all to India Sea, and even to Japan. Their interest is there. They want to have Horn of Africa a Navy, Army there base. In the Qatar, we have Navy and Army base there. In the Central Asia, we have military bases. And we have close relations with Azerbaijan. And whenever you are looking at all these things, it makes also Turkey a very attractive partner. But European Union is not in that line to have a relation with Turkey. Therefore, they will not take Turkey as a European Union member, but they will try to align with them. And also, if you look at the geography, Europe doesn't want to have too much, let's say, saying in these geographies. So for both parties, it's much more beneficial if you take, if I may give my 2 cents opinion, it makes more beneficial for both parties that they are aligned rather than they are united. Turkey can go different way than European Union and vice versa, because their interests are different. And they can have a understanding, a mutual, like a defense pact and something like that, which will be okay to survive with, to be honest. I think that's the best case, I will hope. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense for Turkey to bargain its military force, including military equipment, against possible or potential membership, because really it doesn't make any sense. And by the way, for Turkey, even it's not anymore essential or any more beneficial, because we have a different interest now. Therefore, the NATO for future will be diminished. It will not be terminated totally, that's for sure. And most likely we are going to see a different way of new military expenses and expenses and formation in Europe. From the aspect of Russia, it's a good news that the war might end quickly. But from the China aspect, this is again the very, very, very bad news, because the most important thing is this. United States is very much eager to show power against China. So unless everybody understands this, what is coming, all these things at the end of the day, very, very, very crucial. It's very open to crisis, because the Chinese has or owns the American loans, and they can play against America if they want to. And America knows this, especially Trump knows this. He understands the money and the money force, so he wants to take precaution right away in order to suppress the China. Therefore, he is leaning on China at most. So thinking about that, first, NATO is not going to be diminished, but the importance will be minimized. European Union can establish a European army, but it's not going to be effective unless they do strong and independent military equipments other than American manufactured. For Turkey, I think Turkey is going to be aligned with the European Union, but will not be in the European Army or European Union at all because of the or due to the different interests. Turkey has to or will continue building up its military, increasing the capacity and other things. Turkey will lean and increase the influence in the Middle East and Central Asia, in the North Africa, Horn of Africa, and other places. And I think after the second half of the year, we will see more pressure from Trump administration to end the war, if it has already not ended. If it ended, I think we will start seeing the pressure on China regardless. So the world is changing, and everything that you had experienced, forget them. There will be something very, very new coming up. Keep in tune and see you next time. Bye.